manuals. And today the first speaker is none other than our own surgeon at term, Toastmaster Palaniswamy. Toastmaster Palaniswamy is working on a MNC. I think he's always thinking that what if he had joined 10 years ago in Toastmasters, am I right? Yes. So before going to call upon Toastmaster Palaniswamy, let me call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Nanda, to read the project objectives. Please, sir.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Palaniswamy is doing his level 2 project 2 from presentation mastery path. The project is to write a speech with purpose. The purpose of the project is to learn or review basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech. Timer, please know the time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Palaniswamy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. Toastmaster Palaniswamy, let's reach our destination safely. Let's reach our destination safely, Toastmaster Palaniswamy. All the best.
Thank you. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. In March 2020, just before lockdown, one of my relatives was riding her scooty in a two-way traffic. When she was about to turn right, a car which came behind after overtaking another car hit her from behind. The 39-year-old woman died on the spot, leaving behind two young children, aged 10 and 7. February this year, another my relative, he was talking to his friends sitting on his motorbike in a roadside tea shop. A car, after overtaking a bus, hit him and injured him seriously. He is under treatment, and despite the treatment, he is in unconscious stage for 6 months. These are all two examples from more than 4 lakhs accidents happen in India every year, which kills more than 1,30,000 people and injure more than 4 lakh people, some of them left with permanent physical disability. Is there a way to solve this problem, or we have to suffer continuously? There is a way if we act upon. There are basically two reasons for the accidents. One of the reasons is things which are not in our control, like poor roads, unscientifically designed roads and speed breakers, which we cannot do anything about it. There are reasons which are in our control. Reasons the human error causes accidents are not obeying traffic rules, rash driving, not maintaining the vehicles properly. If we act upon, we can follow a safe road usage as well as safe driving. First, we need to understand how long it takes to stop a vehicle. This will help us to eliminate errors which leads to accidents. There are 3 factors decide this. One is perception time. This is the time which we take to recognize and understand that we need to stop the vehicle. Normally, a human mind takes about 0.75 seconds of perception time. The perception distance is the distance we travel during this time. And we have another one is the reaction time. Reaction time, again, from moving our foot from accelerator pedal to brake pedal, it takes about 0.75 seconds. The time travels during this time is reaction distance. And the next is braking distance. After we apply the brake, the vehicle takes some time to stop. So that distance is called braking distance. Not only drivers of the vehicle, even pedestrians should understand this. If we go to different speeds at 80 kilometer speed with a reaction with a perception distance, reaction distance, and braking distance, it takes 63 meters to stop the vehicle. At 100 kilometer speed, it takes 92 meters. At 120 kilometer speed, it takes 120 meters to stop the vehicle. These are all under ideal road condition and ideal vehicle condition. So if the road condition is poor, if the vehicle condition is poor, it takes more time. So then we have to act upon knowing this information. The one thing we need to follow during driving is C, B scene rule. What is C and B scene rule? If we follow this one rule effectively, we can eliminate most of the accidents. Even in case of accidents, we can reduce the damage to a lot of extent. What is C and B scene rule? While overtaking in a two-way traffic, we have to see the road ahead and make the driver of the vehicle which is ahead of us that we are overtaking. Whenever this rule is not followed, we have the problem of the accident issue. So not only in two-way traffic, if we follow the same thing in a one-way traffic, with even in a multi-lane road, we can reduce accidents to maximum extent. We should not go behind a vehicle in a multi-lane road and suddenly change a lane without seeing what is ahead. We should change the lane at safe distance and see the road clearly, because we don't know what is in front of the vehicle which is going forward. So suddenly sometime, that vehicle can change a lane which will result in accidents. So we need to follow this to avoid accidents. And most of the accidents involving pedestrian happens because of two reasons or combination of these two reasons. One is careless crossing of road, and second is crossing the road at a sharp turning areas. And sometimes it's a combination of both. Imagine the perception time, reaction time, and braking distance, and relate this with a pedestrian crossing. They will understand how difficult for a vehicle driver to stop the vehicle at a short distance when they are forced into such a situation. If we make the pedestrian aware about this, we can reduce the accident to maximum extent. It is not just our responsibility to reach our destination. It is also our responsibility to help others to reach their destination safely. Let us drive safely. Let us take care of others' safety also into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palnisamy. That's a really awesome speech. And he clearly explained what will happen. What if you drive a vehicle recklessly? So that's a really good lesson. And one more thing, don't mix drive and drink. In 2005, one of my friends who did that mistake. And I was waiting for another friend, and at that time, this guy was riding his bike. I could sense that he is under the influence of alcohol. And he asked me to accompany because he was about to buy something from a hotel. He asked me to, why can't you come? I was almost get on the bike. But something, my intuition said that don't do that. I got down. What happened? This guy met with an accident and died on spot. What if I had traveled with him? Probably I would not be standing in front of you being the TMOD. So every small action in your life, the what if element is very important. So with that note, we are going to the next speaker. The next speaker is none other than Toastmaster Kartika. Kartika is a Toastmaster. Kartika by profession, she is a CA. She's working in healthcare, and her interest and hobbies are watching. Why only Malayalam movies? Okay, anyway, that's you can give another speech later. Before calling upon Toastmaster Kartika, and let me call upon her evaluator, Toastmaster Srikant Kuttikrishnan. I request Toastmaster Srikant Kuttikrishnan to read the project objectives of Toastmaster Kartika. The stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Venu. Toastmaster Karthika is presenting a speech from Level 1, Project 2, Dynamic Leadership. The objective of her speech is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and present a well-organized speech on any topic. Time given to Toastmaster Karthika for her presentation is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Karthika. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Venu Nilagandan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth. I said she is CA, right? So money really matters. So Toastmaster Karthika, money matters. Toastmaster Karthika, money matters. All the best.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, members and guests. Money matters. As children, one of the most critical things we are taught in school is to be literate. We are also taught basic survival skills such as cooking. So, but how many of us are taught the basis of finance? So I was taught to handle my own money at a very young age. So every year during Vishu, there is this custom wherein the elders give money to the younger ones in the family. So I used to collect this amount, and my parents ensured that I saved this amount in a post office savings account. Thus began my personal financial journey. So what is this personal finance? So personal finance means meeting personal financial goals. Everyone of us might have a different financial goal. It depends on our income, it depends on our living expenses, our needs and desires. So handling personal finance is about setting a personal financial goal. So this goal can be a short-term goal or even a long-term goal. A short-term goal is something which you'd like to achieve in 2 to 3 years. A long-term goal is something you would like to achieve in 5 to 10 years. So I might have a short-term goal of traveling to Turkey, but you might have a long-term goal of buying that penthouse. So, so you should ensure that every goal of yours needs to be monetized. You need to fix a monetary amount to it. And then you can begin your personal financial journey. So first off, you need to start budgeting. So what is budgeting? It means to accrue your spending power. So there is this 50, 30, 20 rule of budgeting. So which means that you need to save 20% of your income, monthly take home salary, you need to save 20% of your monthly take home salary. So if, for example, I earn 50,000 per month, you need to ensure that 10,000 per month goes and sits safely and you invest it. You can then take the 50% of that amount, that is 25,000 per month, and then spend on your living expenses. You might have to pay rent, EMI, multiple things. Then you need to ensure that 20% of your amount you can spend judiciously for your shopping, your living expenses as such. So the second step is to ensure that you accrue emergency funds. So what is emergency funds? These emergency funds are something which will ensure that you have some amount parked for a rainy day. So 6 months to 2 years of your living expenses is the ideal safety net. So this amount, it can be used for, suppose you lose your job or you don't continue to work for some periods of time. So the next, I began investing once I got my first paycheck. So I used to invest my monthly paycheck in mutual funds. So I actually started investing in stocks only after I cleared CA. So first I started off with large cap stocks, and then I moved down. As the time progressed, I moved down to small cap stocks. So now the thing is with stocks, it can be difficult to choose the right stock because you have multiple companies and multiple industries to compare them across. So, so eventually you will start picking stocks based on word of mouth. So there's this financial term for it. It's called punting. So a punter's approach is to speculate rather than invest. And once you start speculating with your money, things will go down for your portfolio. So mutual funds sahi hai is kind of true because mutual funds will ensure that your money is diversified, that it sits across multiple portfolios, and then you can choose between large cap, small cap, large fund, as well as you have the option of tax-free investment. Okay, there is the savings. Okay. It's kind of you have to ensure that your money is also handled by a well accomplished fund manager so that you can ensure its safety. Okay, so also, yeah. So for now, what I want every one of you to do is take out your calculator and your mobile phone and calculate 20% of your monthly income and ensure that you save this amount going forward. So this is for your benefit, ultimately. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Kartika. It's not for your speech because next week I'm going to write my MBA exam. I'm doing my MBA finance for the second times and I missed all the classes. So I was wondering, what if they ask question from the capital budget or something else? Today I got all the classes from you. Kudos to you. Thank you, Kartika. We are talking about the what if, right? In 1962, there's a Cold War between Russia and USA. Even Kennedy said this is the dangerous moment in human history because the Russia gathered all his missiles and everything near Cuba. So what happened? 3 Marines, they went in the submarines. They were empowered to nuclear weapons if they feel that they are being attacked. So they were under sea in depth. And what happened that the Kennedy and others, they tried to somewhat compromise with the Russia. They came to a conclusion, means agreement that there is no war. Let us discuss and they settle. Unfortunately, those Marines, they were under the sea, didn't receive that message. And the Americans knew that these guys are under sea, so they were trying to bring them up. So they were just putting some kind of dummy weapons and so that they will come up. So these Marines thought they are attacking them. So they had the power to use the nuclear weapons. So out of the 3 Marines, 2 said that let us use the nuclear weapon. But one guy called Vasti Akibo, he said no. But these 2 Marines said that no, let us use it. But that Vasti Akibo said that no, we are not going to use it. Because of that, guys, the big Third World War was avoided. What if this Vasti Akibo also agreed to fire that nuclear weapon? It might be the end of humankind. So what if is very, very important. Even let it be a small word, yes. So with that note, let us go into the next speaker, Toastmaster Geeta Shah. Toastmaster Geeta is going to deliver her project 3 from the level 1, motivational strategy. And before I invite Toastmaster Geeta, let me call upon her evaluator, Toastmaster Punit, to read the project objectives of Toastmaster Geeta.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Venu. By the way, just to add on, the way China is dominating the world, World War III can occur, no doubt on that. But having said that, let's get on to the objectives, which is level 1, project 3, research and presentation, which is delivered by beautiful Geeta ma'am out there from Motivational Strategies Pathway. So the purpose of this project is for Geeta ma'am to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech. Timer, please note that the time is 5 to 7 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds. Wishing Toastmaster Geeta all the best. Back to you, distinguished Toastmaster Venu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet. Small correction, evaluator is supposed to evaluate only the speeches, not the speaker. So let me call upon Toastmaster Geeta, sir. How is your chair is maybe how your chair may be hurting you? How your chair may be hurting you? Toastmaster Geeta, sir. All the best.
A few years ago, I was jolted by a tight slap across my face from a dreaded friend, the wake-up call. This got me into thinking, what am I actually doing with my life? The wake-up call came in the form of chronic back pain. This is because of your sitting excessively, my doctor said, and I was shocked. I was horrified when I learned or when he equated the dangers of sitting to that of smoking. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Do you really think I alone am addicted to sitting? Think about it. Yes, there were a few decades ago, rather I should say, all our works were very physically demanding and strenuous. But with the advent of technology, our lifestyles have changed. We are sitting for hours together, stooped over our phones and our computers. We are sitting while working. We are sitting when in leisure. We are sitting while shopping. We are sitting while driving. And we are sitting when in a meeting. So do you really think all of this is good for us? Today, sitting is so harmful that our researchers have coined a new term for it. They have started calling it a sitting disease. And dear friends, sitting disease is a growing epidemic that needs to be seriously looked at. Let's understand what are the harmful effects of sitting. Studies have connected sitting to a lot of health concerns. For example, sitting can lower your metabolism levels, which in turn can result in increased blood sugars, increased blood pressure, and it can also result in a lot of fat accumulation around your waist, obesity, and unhealthy cholesterol levels. If you think that's it, no, it is not. It isn't. There's more to it. It is all studies have also linked too much of sitting or prolonged sitting to a lot of non-communicable diseases like cancer and cardiovascular disease. And I was also alarmed when I learned that excessive sitting can damage your nerves, resulting in back pain, body pain, and your shoulder and neck pain. And it was even more shocking when I learned that sitting can also affect your functioning of your brain, and it is one of the leading causes for depression, anxiety, and dementia. Very scary, isn't it? So let's understand what the statistics are telling us, or what the statistics or how sedentary we are. So I want to discuss with you all about the study which was conducted by Mayo Clinic. So this study is gives us an alarming answer. It tells us that around 50 to 70% of the population around the world are spending average of 11 hours to 12 hours sitting. Do you think it's fair to sit for that long? And so studies have linked that at least 4% of the deaths, preventable deaths, are linked to excessive sitting, and 3.2 million deaths worldwide are happening because of this non-communicable diseases like cancer and heart disease. And to worsen it, if I have to go a little more in depth, I can tell you that 21 to 25% of the deaths related to breast cancer and colon cancer are because of sitting, and 30% of the cases are because of diabetes, and 27% is linked to heart disease. So all of this is very alarming, isn't it? But friends, the good news is that all of this can be averted. All of this can be averted if we just brought about simple changes in the way we live our lives. So would you like to learn more about it? So the first thing what we can do to ourselves to avoid the sitting disease is we should incorporate exercise as a regular part of our routine. So this could be something like moderate to high intensity exercise like walking, jogging, or running. And it is also important, when we go to the second point, it is important for us to keep moving throughout the day. The reason behind it is our human bodies are designed to move. Now you may ask me, or this is what exactly I had asked my doctor, but doctor, I'm walking 45 minutes every day. So if those of you are thinking that by walking 45 minutes every day or doing regular exercises once in a day is going to, and you're done with it, it's not sufficient. Exercising for 1 hour cannot negate the negative effects that comes from sitting for the rest of the day. What is important is to consciously introduce movements into our lives. This could be something as simple as taking walks wherever possible, taking stairs whenever possible, or indulging in household chores like or gardening, or doing non-intensity exercises like gardening. But the most important thing that we can do for ourselves is during the prolonged sitting, at least we can take a break of, we can take a small break after every 30 minutes of sitting. Studies have shown that if the people who take a break after every 30 minutes are living a longer life and healthier lives. I suddenly realized that you all have been sitting for quite a long time. Can we all have a break? Yes? Yes. So can we all stand at the places and stretch? Probably you can follow me. I think I'm visible to all of you here. Yes. So first I would request you to stand on your toes. Clasp your hands. Yeah. Raise your hands above your head and try to stretch as much as you can. This is a beautiful stretch for our spine. And then coming to yet another stretch, what we can do is we can try to touch our toes without bending our knees. So can we raise our hands? Go a little back. Yes, can we bend down? Go as much as you can. Try touching your toes. So this is also a beautiful stretch which will really help. So dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, you can please take your seats. Was it that difficult? What if we incorporated small stretches like this every time in our daily lives? Wouldn't we be leading a healthy life? So dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, just small, simple changes in our lifestyles, the way we live our lives is going to make a great step in helping us lead healthier and happier lives. Are you ready? Are you ready to move more, stretch more, and stand more? Yes? Do I hear a yes? Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta. I doubt what if the last part was her tactics to get a standing ovation. So we're asking everybody to stand, give a stand up. But anyhow, it was an outstanding speech. That's really great. And we are talking about our theme, right? What if? You know, in 2012, when the Titanic accident happened, there were two ships near to that. One is 20 miles away. that RMS California. When the Captain Lord, he saw that distress fires, the flash fired by the Titanic, he thought it's something they are doing for some kind of entertainment, and he was not ready to go and save the people. He went to sleep. He halted the ship. He switched off everything. They went to simply go to the bed. But another ship, which was around 50 miles away, that's SS Carpathia, that Arthur Rostron, that ship captain, despite that 50 miles away, even though it's on iceberg like here and there, like what Titanic faced, the same problem they faced. But this captain asked his sailors, that the entire crews, let's move and save them. So they went on the highest speed, means the speed they went on was beyond the limit of the ship. They reached that particular spot even after 3 hours, but they could save around 700 passenger lives. But 20 miles away, with another ship, that's SM California, they failed to react. What historian says, if that California acted on time, all the lives could have been saved. What if that Captain Lord decided to go and save the people? So that a history. So every time keep it in mind, what if element is very important in your lives. So with that notes, let us go to the next segment. Before that, let me call upon the timer whether all the proposed speakers are qualified for voting.
Toastmaster Palaniswamy and Toastmaster Karthika qualified.
Okay, thank you. So Toastmaster Palaniswamy and Toastmaster Karthika qualified for voting. When that ballot is means the voting is ready, you can vote for the best speaker out of the two. So now time to call upon the next segment called Table Topic. What if other audience get a chance to speak? That's called Table Topic. Here, to conduct this segment, we have a special person, Toastmaster, yes, Shruti. Toastmaster Shruti is available online. So let me call upon Toastmaster Shruti to conduct this Table Topic. Back to you, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. And hello, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's been so long seeing you all. I hope you're all doing well. And we have got to the most exciting portions, that is the table topic session. The main objective is to challenge speakers to develop their impromptu communication skills, to effectively think on their speech, think on their feet by answering unrehearsed questions. So when I was thinking about what to do for this table topic session, I came across MasterChef, that is food. Food is something we all can connect to, irrespective of any religion or country. So food is more important for a healthier life as well. So I thought, what if we do something differently this time? So that is why, let me share my screen. Can anyone please make sure that my screen is visible? Is my screen visible? Can anyone?
It's visible.
Yes, thank you. So this is the table topic today. This food, it is something related to food. So I've been watching MasterChef Australia very recently, and the more important thing, we can learn so many things from anything we watch. So the most important thing I learned from MasterChef Australia is to give impressive evaluations, which is related to table topic, or which is related to our Toastmasters. So let's dive in and let me brief you on certain rules. That is, here on screen, you can see a few images. So a speaker, when he comes, he should pick he or she should pick an image and I will shoot them a question related to that. So who will be our first speaker?
I'll give a go.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anirudh. So please pick one.
The noodles one.
Right. Thank you. And there is a very simple question. We all eat Maggi, Yippee. There are many instant noodle brands, right? So which one would you pick, Maggi or Yippee?
Well, it's very difficult
And
to answer
please
that
explain
question
your
because
experiences and
yes, thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Whether I will choose Maggie or Yippee, the thing is, it's very difficult and impossible for me to answer, as I've never tasted Yippee before. I've only eaten Maggie, and even after 2015, after the government of India banned Maggie because of some health reasons, my mother simply stopped making it. So if I were given a choice, I would say I can only say Maggie is nice. Apart from that, I can't comment anything for Yippee. Although recently I have tried to eat Maggie on the sly, in the last second, my mother would just come and stop me from doing that. Apart from that, there is nothing else I can comment much on it. Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti.
could you please share your experiences? You still have some more time.
Well, like, if I were asking about my childhood memories, I used to love eating Maggie a lot. Like, whenever my mother used to make it before, I think it was 2014 or 15, I and my cousin, we always used to line up to see who would get the first serving and who would get more of it. It was really nice. It was really nice memories. Just like how the ads show 1 minute Maggie and everything. It was always very nice. Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anirudh, for your sharing your experiences. So any speaker who would like to volunteer and pick one? Anyone from offline session?
I can take it.
Did I get disconnected? I'm sorry. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yes, okay. So anyone who can come and pick a topic, please.
Toastmasters Shruti, yes, Nitin is willing to take a topic.
Sure. Okay. Yes, Nitin, please pick a picture and I'll shoot a question.
You need to share.
Your screen isn't being shared.
My screen is not shared?
Yeah.
Okay. Is my screen visible now?
Yeah.
Sorry for the confusion. Please continue. Which one would you like to pick?
3 stars.
3 stars, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. And guess, Nitin, the question for you is, what would you choose? Expensive 5-star hotel food or street food? I repeat, what would you choose? Expensive 5-star hotel food or street food?
Okay. Based on my experience, like, I don't really like, food isn't really a big appetizing thing to me. It's usually just like a there are certain foods like, junk food and sweets and all that, which taste good. But for me, like, I don't see a huge difference between 5-star food and street food, because street food, the quantity is more and it also tastes good, even if it's a bit unhealthier. I like, since I'm not that old yet, I don't think I've seen the consequences of eating unhealthy food yet, because in the hostel we eat like Maggie twice a week, which is super unhealthy. But since I haven't faced the consequences, I don't see a problem with it. And 5-star hotel food, it feels like they give like so little, and I don't see what's special about it, so I prefer street food. Also, like, yeah, like, there's like, also the menu options in while we're going to a 5-star restaurant, like, it's all just my personal opinion, because when I see that there's this one dish, it'll cost like 700 rupees or something, but then we'll have maybe less than a handful. So I don't see the point of 5-star hotel food, unless you're going to like for like a special occasion and just for the aesthetic, or yeah, maybe a date or a family function, something like that.
Thank you, guest Nikhil, for sharing your opinions. And anyone who can volunteer. I see Shrikant sir on the screen. Could you please come on, pick up a picture?
Yeah. Second row, first photo, first picture. Green.
Right. Right. Do you prefer to eat unhealthy or healthy food? And what is your definition of healthy or unhealthy food?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. Well, there is no question of anybody liking to have an unhealthy food, but given a choice, I'm a great fan of home cooked food, because I truly believe that eating at home is the safest way, because what goes through your mouth might be tasty, but not necessarily good for your intestine and for your overall health. So not to take chances with all kind of food that's being flooding our market, fast food, instant food. There's so many things. Food has never been in shortage, at least in the city where we are in Chennai. But we have no guarantee that the food that we consume from outside is safe. Every other day, there is some restaurant, the well-known restaurants, that are being picked up by the corporation officials for unhygiene, non-vegetarian and vegetarian food that's being cooked. So I am a great fan of home cooked food, because you stay safe. You don't end up having a trouble having food from outside. Having said that, being a family man, I would always like to give a break to my wife and my children, who always prefer to have a food from outside. If that is the case that I would like to have, then I would go to a restaurant which is known very well for hygiene and also good and nutritious food. So the choice for me is to have home food once in a while, just to know how good a cook my spouse is. I go to the restaurant and find out, but ultimately I end up appreciating my spouse for the good cook she is and the food she's delivering. Because I always believe home food is with zero cholesterol and 100% love. So you stay healthy, you smile well, and the longevity of your life is not guaranteed by the food that you have, but your health is guaranteed. So this is my little spiel on unhealthy food and the food that I would prefer to eat. Home is where my heart is and where my stomach is. And I always believe the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and my wife knows that very well. Thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shrikant, for your views. And anyone from offline can come and pick.
Shruti, Lakshmi sir will take a topic. Toastmaster Lakshmi sir will link to take a topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. Please pick one.
I eat non-veg. I can pick chicken.
Okay. Right. Your question for today is, do you think it's necessary for people to eat meat in order to get protein? I repeat, do you think it's necessary for people to eat only meat in order to get proteins?
Thank you, table topic master. Do we think we need to eat only meat to not have proteins? I don't think so. It's again, food is individual choice. People can choose whatever they want based on their need. They can have meat, they can have egg, whatever, greens. And it's also, a lot of vegetarian foods also has proteins, because it's like saying people who eat meat only will have protein. It's a myth, I believe, because even vegetarians, we have a lot of proteins. I personally like meat. I like chicken, mutton, but I don't like to have beyond that. I like a little bit of seafood. So it's my choice, but you can't restrict people to say to have only this kind of meat. Meat is their own choice. If they like, they can have it. If their beliefs are something different, they may not have it. So I used to have meat a lot of time. When I was looking at those chickens and goat at home, so I don't feel like cutting them and eating them. So when something goes like that, I slowly turning out to be non-vegetarian to a vegetarian sometimes, because I'm getting questioned by my daughter when I try to put a omelette for her. The first question she asks is that the yellow thing is turning out to be a chicken? Are we eating the chicken? So that really makes me to think, okay, should I eat this omelette? No, but after 1 week time, when I go out, I don't mind. So I can eat mutton as well. So mutton, meat is also part of a food. It's individual choice to choose whether they want a meat or they want a vegetarian. They can find the equivalent food where they get the proteins, carbohydrates, whatever they need. They can better consult a dietitian to have a better food. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, for sharing your experiences with omelette. Anyone else from offline?
Shruti, Toastmaster Palanisamy will take it up.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palanisamy. Please pick one.
Leafy green.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid to say that's already picked.
Already picked. I don't like burger, but anyway, I will pick that question.
Okay. So if McDonald's was in the healthy food business, what would its menu look like? I repeat, if McDonald's was in the healthy food business, what would its menu look like?
Thank you, Toastmaster. Sorry to start with such an answer. Whatever multinationals come with whether it's a healthy food or tasty food, anyway, they are going to lie. This is the first impression I have about the multinationals. Because in food chain, if we really look into healthy food, whichever branded as healthy food is not really healthy food. Now, if we look into the food chain, which are not branded, comes from farmhouse, these are all natural healthy food. Whichever branded as healthy food is all processed food, mixed with additives, preservatives. So basically, I believe healthy food is unbranded food. It does not mean whatever available in a street food is healthy food. I'm not saying like that. What I mean is, if some multinationals come up with a branded food, a processed food, it is not healthy food. So basically, they will promote unhealthy food even as a healthy food with so much of additives, so much of coloring agents, with so much preservatives. So this is my impression about food chains. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palaniswamy, for your views. And next one, anyone from online, offline, guests are also allowed. Right, I see Toastmaster Puneet has raised his hand. So would you like to pick one?
No, I'm confused which one to choose. Which one is gone? Which one is remaining? Can you help me out?
Right, the leaf, green leaves are gone, and noodles is also gone, chicken is gone, and burger is gone, and stars is also gone, the 3 stars.
Okay, so I'll choose the last one, the fork. I think the 2 forks, right?
Fork, quite creative question you have got. So if you had to create a new dish or a new recipe, what dish would you make and explain your process? I repeat, if you had to create a new dish or a new recipe, what dish would you make and explain your process?
A very creative question indeed. So I'm a big fan of rava idli and medu vada. What if we can combine both? Probably that is one dish which I would love to explore. Greetings, everyone. Although I would consider myself a little bit of foodie as well. Now, although I don't know to make, the only thing which I can make is crack lame jokes on myself, but I don't know to cook. But having said that, if I have to make a very creative dish, it would be a combination of, imagine you have a rava idli in the form of donut. Wouldn't it be wonderful to try it out? Think about it. Vada looks great. Even rava idli looks great. How about combining the best of both worlds? And I'm sure I'll give the heck of competition to all those multinational companies out there like McDonald's, Burger King, you name it. All these logos out there which you have mentioned, I'm pretty sure I'll displace them out of business. But having said that, I would definitely love to explore what you can call it, a rava idli in the form of medu vada shape, like a donut, which is way more healthier, way more, what you can call it, way more appetizing to our taste bud. It's way more beautiful and delicious. And having said that, this is one market opportunity which I would love to explore. A new dish which caters to everyone, which is healthy, which is really good, which is multi-nutritious, you name it, you market it, we can market. However, I'll definitely reach out to you for marketing ideas. And having said that, I will definitely experiment on Chennai Toastmasters Club members. I would love to get their feedback as to how this new product of mine, which goes out, and I have to think about it. What can I name it? Can I name it as Rava Vada or can I name it as Medu Idli? Maybe I leave the option to the audience. And thank you so much for giving me a very creative topic. I might have to brainstorm on the day in which I would have to choose. So probably I would go with Rava Vada. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet. So we are waiting to have a little bit taste of your new creative dish. And moving on, Taimur, could you please say, do we still have time for any speakers?
I think it's time up. Like we can close this table topics. We are running out of time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti, the TT Master. Generally, table topics are considered as a food for our creativity and spontaneity. Today, we had all the topics related to food. And it's really a good treat for all the foodies. Like it started from the noodles and chickens and burger and everything you had, right? But I had only one doubt. Out of the list, one thing is a rat and a cheese. Out of that, which is a food? Is it the rat or the cheese? So it's up to you. So now it's time for the next segment, because I believe so far, if I told you that we have done a stupendous job, do you question me? You want proof? Let us get that from our general evaluator. Before that, let me call upon the timer to read the qualified TT speakers for voting. Only the qualified TT speakers. Okay, can you please read it so that it would be easy for the
Toastmaster leader, guest Nitin, Toastmaster myself, Lakshmanarana, the Pallis, Toastmaster. All 6 speakers are there.
kudos to them. So now let me call upon DTM Nina John to conduct the evaluation segment. Yes, please. I think Geeta has to give another speech. I brought it. Yeah. That's only when the tag is when you all are speaking, I will sit there. That's all.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So we have had both a lively speaking session and a lively table topic session. So we move on now. We move on now to the evaluation section. As I said, every time you join Toastmasters, we join because we want to improve our public speaking skills. And every time we make a speech, we want to know, how did I do? How can I improve? So that's what the thing about the evaluator is. So we've had 3 speeches today, and I will call upon each evaluator to come and speak for this thing. Our first speech was by Toastmaster Palani. His, you'll have to tell me the evaluator, Toastmaster Nanda will deliver his evaluation.
Am I audible? Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. So last year, road accidents, the #1 killer in India, much more than Corona plus all other deaths put together. So road accident is the topper. So I think it was a timely topic. Let's reach our destination safely by Toastmaster Palicham. But I would divide my evaluation into 2 segments. The first segment is about script writing, which is about the objective of the speech, and the speech delivery. Let's see if the 2 segments reach their destination safely. Coming to the first segment about the speech writing. The opening was like very bit powerful. So he was like specifically sharing some beautiful or moving incidents about the accidents he recently saw with the 2 people he met. So that way the audience was immediately grabbed, the attention was grabbed immediately, and that was a good opening, I thought. Coming to the body was also clearly and well written with a lot of facts about accidents, the number of accidents, and how to drive, and different parameters like braking distance, performance factor, all that stuff. The body was also powerfully packed with a lot of details, which was made the audience aware about like how to drive safely and all that stuff. So I thought the body was also well written. Now coming to the important part of conclusion of the speech writing. Conclusion, he just had a rule where be seen and not to be seen, which is okay, but there's no specific call to action to the audience. I didn't feel that something should move inside me, right? Like tomorrow when I switch on my bike, turn on my car, how conscious would I be? Because there's no specific call to action to me, like take a pledge to wear a helmet or always wear a seat belt. There's no specific call to action. I think that is missing in the conclusion of the speech. So if that has been added, I am sure the speech writing would be really awesome. Now coming to the second journey, which is about speech delivery. The first aspect is gestures. So you are like standing like this and like holding your arms, and then opening a little bit when you want to convey some point, and then using a hand, rolling your hands. Again, it came into the clenched posture. Maybe you can use an open gesture, like facing the audience, and whenever you hands, use it, and then go back to your open gesture. That would convey a really good, powerful message to the audience. Coming to the voice modulation. Your voice was largely flat, but your speech had a lot of segments where you could use some powerful messages like, do you know India has a #1 accent, something like that. So there is a lot of scope in your speech, but I thought the voice was largely flat throughout the speech. Then third part is about like using the stage. So you are largely fixated in a specific spot. Maybe you could have like moved around, and when you want to convey some oxidants, like come this way. So that way it could have been even more powerful to the audience. To conclude, I would say the speech writing actually met the destination, and your speech delivery is yet to reach the destination. Maybe with better hand gestures and voice modulation and eye contact, I am sure the speeches will all meet your destination. Over to you, General Always.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nanda, for that brilliant evaluation. We move on now to our second speaker, Karthika, and her evaluator, Toastmaster Srikanth. Toastmaster Srikanth.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, General Evaluator. Well, I would like to evaluate Toastmaster Karthika's speech on the pros and what was very interesting and the areas of improvement that she needs to work on. Her speech was an eye-opener for most of us, especially for those who have not made saving or investing a habit. And also the powerful way she opened by saying that most of the schools don't teach financial literacy to their students. It's something that we need to ponder about, and seems to be a fact that it is not being taken care. And it started with her personal experience when during the festival of Vishu, something called in Malayalam called as Kainiltam, where money is given by the elders of the family and the money is kept in a city bank, and how she started making use of the money for her short-term and long-term goals. And she also gave us an example what should be our short-term goal with a window of about 3 to 5 years, and 5 to 10 would be a long-term goal. Everything was picture perfect as far as literacy of how to save the money. But she seems to have gone off track when she changed from literacy of finance, went into investing. That was a bit confusing. There was a change of track, abrupt change, where I found it very difficult for a layman like me to understand some jargons like mid-cap, large cap, small cap, and also what is really a multi-portfolio and what is a mutual fund. So if you are going to talk about two big aspects of investing and saving, you should be very careful because you are trying to give a lot of information within that 5 to 7 minutes. So what I would suggest is there should be something that which stays with the audience, whether it is savings, because once you start saving, only then you can think about investing. So I want you to split this to a different speech to talk about investing rather than having it right across the table and giving us too much of information. And that's where I thought your speech was a little out of track. So here is my recommendation to you. See, once you start talking about one topic, stick to that, and also make sure that you are fluent in putting out your views and thoughts. You were a bit stagnant. You were literally stuck in the middle, not knowing how to proceed further. So make sure that is because you want to give a lot of information, which is not required. And also make sure that your personal experience is also something that we can also imbibe in our nature, also in our life. So please, it is my humble request, if you could repeat the speech again, it would be very useful so that we can have something to take back listening to you. So try practicing it more and more and try to give just 2 to 3 points on what savings is and how useful it is. And I'm sure that with this, your speech would be definitely an eye-opener for most of us. Thank you very much. And back to the General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Srikanth. We move on now to our third speech and our third evaluator, that is Toastmaster Puneet, who is also online.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Geeta, for giving me a tight slap through your speech. Greetings, everyone. Out of all the beautiful things which Toastmaster Geeta has shared, these are the top 2 things which I absolutely love in her speech, and I'll come to the objectives at the later part of my evaluation. The first one which I loved was the audience engagement and how she has done it through powerful question. She asked an introspective question at the first, am I addicted to sitting? Then she asked us, the audience the question, do you think it's fair to sit long? And at the end, she also gave us a question as to, can we all take a break? So it was a good and clever way to ensure that your audience is invested. Normally, I don't give evaluation from the point of an audience, but this speech has forced me to do because of her clever, crafty question. Second, and the best part about her speech was the problem solution approach. Look, this is the problem of sitting. What are the problems which one would face if they are not changing their lifestyle? And she also gave us practical tips at the end as to how we can enhance and upgrade our lifestyle by stretching more, standing up. So these were all the good things about her speech. Now it's time to work on the objectives. And here are a few of my recommendations. So Geeta ma'am, are you with me? I can't see you, but I'm pretty sure you are with me. The first, the objectives of the speech were research and organization. And with regards to research part, I felt you have done 50% justice to that. For example, you said you gave New York Clinic as one of the sources, whereas for other two sources, other 2 points which you made, for example, study shows that health concern, study shows that non-communicable disease. I wanted to know what is the source of that study. Maybe if you could have shared that source with me, I would have done a bit more research on myself to know more about what you were sharing. Point number 2, which is speech title. I felt a better speech title would have, like your speech title was how your chair may be hurting you. Would have better speech title would have been a sit less, stand more. There are more creative ways to explore a speech topic. So I felt you could pick a more appropriate speech title to the speech content which you gave. Third, which is completing the loop. What I felt, Geeta ma'am, and taking cue from Srikant Kutti Krishnan sir, was that you made me invested in your speech in the first half, wherein you said that I was shocked. And after the speech, I was still wondering, what is Geeta ma'am in person doing? Can she share that transformation with us? How Geeta ma'am was before sitting, how Geeta ma'am was after inculcating those exercises. I wanted to know, Geeta ma'am, your experience as to how exercises have helped you. And last, on the body language aspect, I felt you have this habit of you have this beautiful habit of keeping your eye contact through gazing through the audience. Maybe I feel a better approach would be just to keep your head steady, look at the audience for 3-4 seconds straight, then 3-4 seconds at the left, and then 3-4 seconds at the right, so that it doesn't seem abrupt a bit. So to summarize, very good audience engagement, and I love the problem solution approach. Geeta ma'am, you still have a lot to work on the research and the organization aspect. But anyways, I enjoyed listening to your speech, and your speech is definitely the need of the hour. Look forward to listening to more such speeches. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Puneet, for that. Again, very incisive evaluation. And now we move on to our tag team. And I'll ask all to give their reports. First, our counter come timer, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan. So if Venu is double DTM, he's the double role today.
Thank you. I don't know whether it comes with the Rockstar Award, but let me try. Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Let me read out the timer report first as a timer. To begin with, Toastmaster Palaniswamy Sajana terms took 1 minute. Myself, I took 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Thanks to Naveen and Palaniswamy for capturing those times. Toastmaster Satish took 1 minute, 25 seconds. DTM Venu as a TMOD took 4 minutes, 40 seconds. We should consider the pause as well in between. And DD Ninamam as a G took 1 minute, 27 seconds. And then the G altogether tag evaluation took almost 3 minutes. So coming back to these prepared speeches, for the first prepared speaker, Toastmaster Palaniswamy took 6 minutes, 24 seconds. Toastmaster Karthika took 5 minutes, 34 seconds. And Toastmaster Geeta took 8 minutes, 7 seconds. And coming to table topic session, Toastmaster Anirudh took 1 minute, 10 seconds. Guest Nitin took 1 minute, 48 seconds. Toastmaster Srikant Kutti Krishnan took 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Toastmaster myself, Lakshmi Narayan, took 1 minute, 48 seconds. Toastmaster Palaniswamy took 1 minute, 26 seconds. And Toastmaster Puneet took 1 minute, 30 seconds. And for the evaluators, Toastmaster Nanda took 2 minutes, 52 seconds. And Toastmaster Srikant Kutti Krishnan took 3 minutes, 7 seconds. And Toastmaster Puneet took 3 minutes 21 seconds, and by that all the evaluators are also qualified for voting. With that, I wind up my timer report and come back to the counter report. Thank you. So I captured from the Toastmasters Palaniswamy. Palaniswamy had 2 passes, but it was flawless without any nams. Toastmaster Karthika had 3+ so and 3 passes at times. Toastmaster Geeta had repeated and 1 off. TD Master Shruti had repeated what if. I think it's part of the team as well. Toastmaster Anirudh had 1 arms, and guest Nitin had 2 passes, but he didn't get any hours. Kudos to you for that. And Toastmaster, and I had 3 hours as usual, and 3+ hours. Okay. Toastmaster Palaniswamy used to so as a table topic speaker. And that's it from my report. I hand over control back to general level of now.
Thank you so much for both those reports. And with that, we hand over to our grammarian, Toastmaster Naveen.
Distinguished Toastmaster Venu Nilagandan used Lingo Fraga, Accompany, Toastmaster Karthika, Accum, Accrue, Speculate, Geeta Shrav, Chronic, Waste, Prolong, and Toastmaster Puneet used a quote, sit less, stand more. And I have, do you want to know what are the words most we used today? I will go with Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, what if 3 times? Toastmaster Palaniswamy, distance 5 times. Karthika, money 4 times. Fund 7 times. Toastmaster Geeta used sitting 23 times. Exercise 4 times. And what if 2 times? Toastmaster Anirudh used Maggie 6 times. Guest Nitin, food 4 times. Toastmaster Srikanth Kuti Krishnan, food 15 times. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana used food 2 times, chicken 4 times. Toastmaster Palaniswamy, food 11 times. Toastmaster Puneet, Rava Idli 5 times. Distinguished Toastmaster Venu Nilagandan, food 3 times. Toastmaster Nanda, accident 3 times. Toastmaster Srikanth Kuti Krishnan, money 2 times. Toastmaster Puneet, sitting 3 times. But our distinguished Toastmaster Venu Nilagandan is leading by using the word what if in 37 times. I think he will lead the off century. And over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Nina.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Naveen. And although the report is finished, let me tell you, that report has left an indelible mark on all of us. So you can, do a post-mortem and put it in the minutes that I used a word of the day. All right, as far as my report is concerned, I'm pretty happy to note that we started a little late due to our normal problems, but we managed to catch up. And I think that's really amazing. The fact that we stuck to the agenda and we were able to come back to the agenda. So that's something we really need to appreciate and carry on. Second is in terms of Toastmaster of the Day using a theme. I liked the theme that you used. I like the way you carried it through to everything. But as I keep saying, we are not using theme of the day correctly. If we are having a theme of the day, it should be something specific, Independence Day or something like that. And then all the prepared speeches, all the table topics, maybe even the decorations for the room or whatever, all of that should follow the theme. Otherwise, if you just say, what if, it becomes an additional phrase. It is meaningless. So I think when we're having a theme, one thing is word of the day is mandatory in Toastmaster meetings, but theme is not. So I would suggest if you don't have a theme, junk it. It doesn't matter at all. Secondly, in terms of the general evaluations, I had a couple of things to say. One is, I would like to point, and I've been pointing this out quite often, when we say you are not eligible to be voted, guests get totally confused. What you have to say is every role we vote for the best player or whatever. If you cross the time limit, you are not eligible to be voted for as best role player. So then people understand what is voting. Otherwise, they are disqualified. I have no idea what I'm being disqualified from or for. So be a little clearer about that. That is the other one. And in terms of evaluation, I'm going a little bit into detail. I like the way Toastmaster Nanda went clearly into script and delivery and analyzed what is the script, what is the delivery, what are the areas of improvement for that. That is really what it's all about. I felt Toastmaster Srikanth could have had, first of all, too much repetition of the content is not necessary. We've already heard the speech. So evaluator repeating the speech does not make sense to this thing. But tell us clearly what could be improved in terms of content. For example, the transitions were like this. So this is where transitions could have been done better. That was a better thing. Again, some of it I thought was a little too personal and harsh and could have been better said in the sense, sometimes it was you and sometimes it was she. So that kind of little bit of confusion. So let's avoid that. Always say this part of the speech could have been done better in this way. So you're not being personal, you're pointing out something that is to be done. Puneet, when he started as Toastmaster, Venu pointed out, was first analyzing Gita and then giving the objectives of the speech. So let's stick to the objectives of the speech when we're doing evaluation. So that is one part of it. And he did again a great thing, explained what exactly, how the research, where the research sources should have been cited and how, which is very good for a research and presentation speech. Excellent suggestion for a better title for the entire speech, because that makes a lot of difference to the presentation. And very specific things like how can you, don't just say eye contact could be better. He went clearly into how can you improve your eye contact, and that's what we're really looking for. So an evaluator should give something specific to that particular speaker, but general in the sense all of us here can pick up from that. That's the point of the evaluation. So overall, I think we've done a great job as far as all these things are concerned. And again, yeah, Puneet pointed out how he started. He picked up that tight slap from Gita's speech and used it in his evaluation, which shows he was listening, and then went on to the rhetorical questions that she had asked. So that's what I'm saying. You just say good rhetorical questions rather than repeating the questions that she had asked. So therefore, in terms of evaluation, please analyze the speech, go into details of how you are doing that analysis, what you are doing, and how the speaker can improve. So apart from that, I think we're doing a great job as far as the venue is concerned, and as far as all the glitches are concerned. I think it's absolutely fine. So good job by CTM. Let me hand it back to everybody.
Thank you, DTM Neenam. Now we witnessed what will happen. What if DTM Neena is the general evaluator? Such an elaborative, very correct feedbacks and evaluation. Thank you for such a good evaluation and feedback. So with that, we come to an end. We almost completed every 3 segments, right? So before I complete my role, let me ask the timer that please read the qualified evaluator.
All 3.
Yeah.
Qualified.
Yes, all the 3 evaluators are qualified to be elected as the best evaluator, and you can also choose the best role players among the 3. So let me touch upon the theme again, once again. So what if? As I said earlier, in our life, every time you have to take care of the what if. Now, recently that Queen Elizabeth, she celebrated that Jubilee, so Platinum Jubilee, almost 70 years. How many of you know that her uncle, Edward VIII, who was supposed to be the king, who abdicated his kingship because he wanted to marry another lady who was divorce at that time. It was not allowed at that time. That's why, for the sake of love, that Edward VIII gave up, abdicated his kingdom, means he didn't want to continue king. That's why that Queen Elizabeth's father got the chance. That's why now she is being the queen. So what if Edward VIII didn't abdicate? So that would be a history. So why I'm saying all the counterfactual facts are something in our life also. If you ask what if, a lot of change will happen. What if elements is very important in your life. It creates a lot of impact. Let it be positive one or negative one. So every act, when you are doing something or when you are deciding something, just ask this question, what if? So if you can find the right answer, you will not take a wrong decision. With that note, let me hand over the control back to the president. Thank you for the opportunity. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, very distinguished Toastmaster, double distinguished Toastmaster. I think it's we're complimenting you because for some time, so that people know that you are taken this idiom. That's a motivation for most of us as well, because we've been striving for it for a long time. So good evening once again. Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and friends online. So it was a wonderful meeting. What if theme? So when the meeting started, I always had a doubt because I don't know what kind of surprise we are going to get from the what if. So, but we got a lot of messages. So people now would have felt that what if I miss this meeting? And people who missed the meeting, they could see the recording as well. But still, the live activities is what we miss most of the time. So we really enjoyed your meeting, and most all the role players did a really good job. Toastmaster of the day started very well, and table topic master Shruti, yeah, she had, though it was totally different thing, food, she made us feel hungry, so we are going to have snacks anyway very soon. The concept was very good. She had a relevant questions as well, and I should apologize on behalf of everyone that we started a little late, but still we are trying to meet on time. So we try to fix it by next time. We got the key, so we'll be starting it on time from next week. So having said that, okay, yeah, okay, I just want to this one recognition, right? Yeah. She completed. Just want to recognize Geeta ma'am for completing her level 1, the pathways. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, we are okay if you come study, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, we will stand and give him. Okay, so now it's time for guest feedback. We have Nitin. I know, Nitin, you came forward and you spoke. You didn't seem to be that new to speaking, though you are a little nervous. You did an excellent job. Congrats to you for that. And you want your feedback and sessions about this meeting. I hope you follow this meeting. You understood this, right? There are prepared speakers, table topic speakers, and all. So I'm sure you will enjoy this meeting next time as well. Please do visit, and I will give you VP membership's number as well. Toastmaster Sarath is not here. You can reach out to him, but still you can come here next year. And also as a guest, you can get more inputs. Whatever doubts you have, you can get in touch with me or with Toastmaster Sarath as well. Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry, I didn't get this. Your good name? Purushothaman. Do you want to come and speak here or you want to stand? It's up to you. Okay. Can you introduce yourself and you can give your feedback about this meeting? Yeah. Okay. Toastmasters.
Again, I got the number from the
Website. You would have called me Lakshminarayana or Sarath. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Speech, right? Yeah. So, you're great. Yeah. Thank you so much for your feedback. You are yet to meet our VP membership, so you'll get more inspiration from him as well. Toastmaster Sarath. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes. Your meeting is on? Okay. I think that's it from the guest side. So it's time to announce the results now. Let me begin with the tag team. Between the timer, our counter, and the grammarian, it's obviously who counted all the words. Our grammarian, Naveen. Okay, thank you. And the best table topic speaker today is our Toastmaster who's connected online, our Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. Thank you, sir. And the best evaluator today, between the three evaluators, is our Toastmaster Nanda. Congratulations. No, no, you are ribbons. If you are ribbons, you are ribbons. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And the best role player today between Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master, and General Evaluator, it's our Toastmaster of the Day. What if he didn't come? He didn't have received the awards. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you so much. And the last part, the best speaker today is one who told us how to be safe while driving and riding, Toastmaster Palnisam. Thank you. Thank you so much. So with that, we're coming to the end of this meeting. Thank you so much. I formally adjourn the meeting. For next week, the same time. Thank you. And we'll have a photo session. So I request all the people on online to turn on your camera. We can quickly take a snap. And we'll continue with the snacks. Yes. At least, no, we are motivating them. It's like. Yes, we will follow. I'll take one step. Just I will stand there. Smile, please. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Puneet. Bye, Puneet. Thanks for coming. Please do join.
Bye, guys.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you, everyone.
The Nagendra Bari, sir. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Unless I'm not in the
Oh, we missed him.
Yeah, then what was your
Yeah, we'll take one more time.
There's no need for this one.
Yeah, right.